It's a special quarter mark of the season edition of Leafs 3 and 3. Kristen, first topic. Toronto off to a great start, but they've been relying a lot on Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews. Do they need more forward depth?
You know, I don't think that they do, Mark, because I think they have two players with a lot more to give offensively, and that is Jimmy Vesey and Alex Kerfoot. Only 3 points so far for Vesey, just 6 points for Kerfoot, but I think there's more there. They just haven't tapped into it yet. There's been too much shuffling, not a lot of rhythm there, but I do think that when they can get a little bit more out of those forwards, you're going to start to see some of that depth shine. I don't think they need to go looking for it anywhere else.
I also think they're going to get more out of John Tavares and William Nylander at even strength. Tavares still just the one even strength goal. That's bound to tick up. And the fact that Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner are producing at such high levels, I think that is actually something that's going to continue, perhaps not quite at this rate, but I think they're legitimately going to a new level. And I think that's going to continue to push the Maple Leafs. They can count on that.
When we talk about depth, the Leafs may be getting some reinforcements sooner than later with Joe Thornton and Nick Robertson set to come back off IR. Where do you see Thornton fitting back in when he does return?
I would put him as a third line center. I'm not taking Zach Hyman off that Matthews-Marner line. I think they're clicking well. So I'd put Thornton as your third line center, and I'd move Kerfoot up to the wing with Tavares and Nylander. You pointed it out. Kerfoot hasn't gotten off to the greatest start this season. I thought he did well with Tavares and Nylander at times last season. So that's what I would do. I would put Thornton with Robertson and Mikheyev on a third line. I think that could be a great third line.
Well, you know, you talk about Tavares and Nylander getting going a bit more at even strength. I would put Thornton with them. I think we saw Sheldon Keefe maybe even tip his hand a little bit, had Thornton skating with them at morning skate a couple of days ago, and we know that he likes to check things out at those skates, see how things look. So maybe he's already showing us that Thornton's going to hook up with those guys, and it could just be that little bit burst of energy that they need to really break out and get going at even strength.
In Monday's game, we saw Sheldon Keefe dress 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. He said afterwards he regretted it. Do you think that's the end of this 11-7 experiment, or are we going to see it more going forward?
Well, I think it should be the end of 11-7. I just don't think anybody looks good. I don't think anybody's benefiting from this sort of experiment that Sheldon Keefe has got going on. I mean, the forwards just look more tired. They don't seem to get into a rhythm. They seem confused. And then defensively, I mean, you're giving one player like 4 or 5 more minutes, and it doesn't really seem to be taking the pressure off of anybody else. So everyone just looks discombobulated. No one seems to like it, and I just don't think that the Leafs look good in it.
I agree with you, Kristen. I don't like the look of it. It feels like a big reason for doing it is to get the depth defenseman involved, whether it was Rasmus Sandin on Monday or Mikko Lehtinen. He's an import from the KHL. He needs NHL minutes to get comfortable. Did not have the exhibition, but I would just rotate him with Travis Dermott. It might not be fair to Dermott, who scores a big goal last night, but I think that will drive them. Competition is good. Dermott's got a good head on his shoulders, and you can rotate them in a little bit. I think that competition would be good. Lettinen's got 3 points in his last 3 games. Dermott may be heating up a bit as well. That can help drive the Leafs as well.
Well, Mark, we might not have any more 11-7, but we will always have 3 and 3.